Hey everybody, Matthew Pillmore here. Welcome back to the VIP Financial Ed channel. As you can see, I'm sitting off of the highway. This is I-70 right here. And I just could not help but share this with you guys. Look at this view right here. These mountains are spectacular. This is the reason I never want to leave this state. Typically over here, just off of Genesee Pass, you'll find a buffalo herd. Unfortunately, they're not there today. I'd love for you guys to see them. But I did want to just kind of share with you what I'm up to. This is the middle of the week. It's an absolutely gorgeous week again here in Colorado. The weather's spectacular. If you've never been out here, make it a point to come to Denver. This is just 25 minutes outside of downtown. You can see I'm really up in the mountains. I've got the beast here. This is a Jeep Wrangler Unlimited JK. It's a 2013. We just picked this up. No, I don't believe in automobiles being good investments. Yes, I believe in lifestyle design, living life by your standards and living your ideal lifestyle. So this channel is all about how to build your cash flow to a point where you can easily afford whatever automobile you want. If you want to drive around in a hybrid Toyota, I support you. If you want to drive a Tesla, I support you. If you want to drive a Jeep that can take you anywhere and give you the ultimate freedom, I support you. But make sure you can afford it. And that's what this channel is all about. I'm going to start teaching you guys from time to time things that I listen to. You can see I've got my trusty Bose wireless earphones. These are absolutely incredible, also expensive, about $400, and one of the best investments I've ever made, unlike this Jeep. Now this Jeep is very therapeutic. It allows me to get out of the city. Between phone meetings, I can escape and come up here and get some of my meditation, solitude, and most importantly for me, the studying. So as I've shared on this channel a couple of times, I have become less and less of a reader and more of a listener. So I will download audio, and just like you guys, I'm huge into YouTube. I study YouTube for several hours every single day. You know, I want to make sure I'm feeding my assets, and feeding my assets means things like taking care of myself physically, nutritiously, taking care of my brain. And I'm going to give you 3 channels today while I'm out and about, feeding my brain, getting my off-road therapy here in the mountains for a few hours while studying and expanding my knowledge so that I can expand my business and ultimately continue to enjoy the freedom that I have. So let's go and have some fun today. Hey everybody, I found a safe place to park here. I'm gonna give you guys some really great content now. I'm actually sitting in what is widely known as the richest single square mile in the country. This is just outside of Central City, which is about 45 minutes outside of Denver. This town is called Russell Gulch, and it is widely considered a ghost town for all intents and purposes. It is, for the most part, abandoned, and the reason this area is considered so rich is because of the gold mining that not only happened here but still does, and there are gold mines all over this area of Colorado, and I find this place to be extremely inspiring. Not only is it really cool and you can kind of explore these mines, but you know, looking at what these people sacrificed in order to dig up this mineral from the ground and create a potential future for themselves, the risks that they took, it blows my mind. It makes me want to work harder. So I love coming up here and studying, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm between meetings, and I wanted to kind of share with you what it is that we are studying so that you guys can do some of the same. Here's a little secret. If you want to pay off debt quickly, make a ton of money. We make a lot of money and pay off debt very fast. There are more opportunities to make a ton of money today than there ever have been before. And I'm living proof of that, because if you compare what we're doing today, to what we were doing just 5 years ago, we have an almost entirely new business model. And we knew that we wanted to get away from making a lot of money through public speaking and make a lot of money instead through e-commerce. We knew that we wanted geographical mobility. So we started turning our attention to things like affiliate marketing and things like cryptocurrencies versus investing into things as aggressively like real estate. And while we love real estate, it's a tremendous long-term asset. We do not put even close to the majority of what we invest into real estate. So I'm here to kind of share with you how we made that transition successfully. As a lot of people mentioned during my Dave Ramsey versus VIP video, there are a lot of ways to skin the cat. And there are really two main pieces of success when it comes to implementing a better approach to managing your finances. The first is the knowledge aspect. That's the science or the mathematics, the part that absolutely works. You just have to understand it exists. And the second piece is you got to know how and continually execute. The execution portion, which is the behavioral or personality compatibility aspect to what we teach, is arguably valued at significantly higher percentages than the knowledge piece, right? I mean, knowledge only goes so far. So people like Dave Ramsey argue that it's worth approximately 20% and that execution is roughly 80. I personally think those are arbitrary numbers. Regardless, we constantly study and expand our knowledge. But from there, the execution is the only piece that actually gets us somewhere. And the way we do that is we figure out the programs and the products and the services that we need to buy and spend time on in order to get ahead as quickly as possible and avoid as many mistakes as we can. So over just the last few years, I've been making a commitment to spend hours and hours every single day. I'm not talking 3 days a week or 5 days a week or your standard Monday through Friday. I'm talking 3 to 5 hours every single day, 7 days a week. You will find me with my earphones on and you'll see me studying various content. Now, I didn't know anything about cryptocurrency at this time last year. I didn't know very much about affiliate marketing this time last year. I didn't know very much about YouTube this time last year or e-commerce. And now we have tripled our net leftover cash flow position from this time last year. Now, tripling leftover cash flow is a big deal. It's one thing to triple your gross income. It's a whole nother thing to triple how much is left each and every month. With that in mind, we've now exceeded the 7 figures per year point, and that's based off of both the knowledge, consumption of content, and the hiring and investing into products, programs, and services to advance us. That cost us about $100,000 over the course of 2017, roughly. It could have been closer to 125, so let's go with that number. Now, if you knew that you could 3x your even gross income, and you were only earning as a household, say $50,000 per year today, why in the world wouldn't somebody at that level spend even $125,000 to triple their gross income, much less net? Would you? Would you take $100,000 and invest it over the course of 2018 to get yourself into a position where by this time next year, you had tripled how much you were earning? Let's do the math. If you had $50,000 this year in income, and by this time next year, you were earning $150,000, then of course it would make sense to spend $100,000 over the course of this year, because you'll make all that money back next year, and every subsequent year, you'll end up with a huge additional amount left over that you didn't have had you not taken those steps. So for those of you that argue that cash flow and leverage should not be invested back into revenue generating systems, I beg to differ. And for those of you that make the point that it should only be cash flow, how long would it take you to save $100,000? Do you have $100,000 saved today? If you don't, look how much time you've had to save it. 5 years, 10, 20, 30 years? If you're not gonna save it today, when are you gonna save it? And if it takes you another 5 to 30 years before you have $100,000 that you can invest to triple your income, well, I could easily make the argument that I'm gonna be there well before you. And that's because when you use leverage the right way, it works as a tool to create wealth. If I, after using $100,000, generated 3x income the following year, I would have $100,000 left over to pay back what I had borrowed the year before. So leverage, when treated correctly, is one of the single most powerful tools you can get. But you do have to start with knowledge. So I'm glad to see you here on this channel. Here's a few additional channels that I've been studying regularly over the last 12 months because I want as much income as I can get. I want as much income as I can get. I want to work as little as possible to earn as much as I can, to have as much freedom as I can get through this lifetime. And if you like the sounds of that, then follow along. One of the channels I love, and this is not any type of paid sponsorship or endorsement by any of these channels. These are just my personal preferences right now. I've learned a ton, and I've even made investments. The first is Project Life Mastery. I love that channel. Living proof that there are many, many people who are capable of earning e-commerce money. The second e-commerce monetization generating channel that I watch is Alex Becker's channel. Great channel, Alex. Really appreciate your content. Very straightforward delivery. If you're sensitive to profanity, you may not want to tune into his channel. He's certainly not afraid to be himself. And finally, I love Russell Brunson's material, ClickFunnels. That was a brand new service that we discovered and we found a use for, and we're generating revenues from it that far exceed what it costs us, which is approximately the same as our coaching costs, a few $100 every month. And I have no plan to discontinue paying that as I move forward. One of the videos that really first caught my attention was Russell's presentation at the 10X conference with Grant Cardone in 2017. To my knowledge, Russell Brunson generated over $3 million at the 10X conference this year in just 90 minutes. These are the people that you should be learning from. These are the people who have done it before you, and as Russell says, already have the arrows in their back to prove it. Why recreate the wheel? Go out there and make the most out of other people's systems. If I have the time to study 3 to 5 hours a day, you most definitely have the time. Figure out when. And this is why I'm reading less and less. This is why I like audio, because I can multitask. I can do it while I'm driving. I can do it while I'm showering. I can do it while I'm preparing for bed. I can do it while I'm exercising. Guys, there is always enough time to consume the knowledge. From there, you need to figure out how you're going to build your team. You have to, at some point, start admitting to yourself that it is impossible to reach your full potential by yourself. At some point, you're going to have to add people around you. Every serious business has folks who help them succeed. So guys, I hope this video has been useful for you. Check out Project Life Mastery. Check out Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels. And check out Alex Becker's channel. I'm going to keep coming back to you guys with more and more resources. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. Turn on your post notifications bell in order to get alerted every time I upload new videos to this channel. Really nice having you guys on this drive with me today. What an amazing area. And hopefully you guys are serious about creating enough freedom for yourselves where you can get out at any point, day or night, go anywhere you want, stay as long as you want, and just have that freedom. We'll see you on the next video, guys. Make it a great day.